يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. तेरी मोहब्बत की महक से ये ज़मीन।
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا كل شيء خلقناه بقدر وما أمرنا إلا واحدة كلمح بالبصر ولقد أهلكنا أشياعكم فهل من مدكر وكل شيء فعلوه في الزبر وكل صغير وكبير مستطر. إن المتقين في جنات ونهر في مقعد صدق عند مليك مقتدر. صدق الله العظيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين، أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. وقال تعالى: قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم. وقال تعالى: وما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين. Respected scholars and ulama and my dear brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, in the morning I explained in little detail the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and a very important part of his millah. So I mentioned in the morning, millah of Ibrahim has got three parts. Al-Hanifiyya, the Ibrahim was Hanif. And then I mentioned second part of millah of Ibrahim, Islam, full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I also mentioned very clearly that the Quran never used Islam with capital I, with big I. Always Islam in Quran is with small I. Full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the third part of this millah is Adamul Ishraq billahi ta'ala. No shirk, no association, no partnership with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ibadah, in worship, in anything. In pure worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Nothing there is, no one who can share anything of divinity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This tradition of Hanifiyya continued in the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam all the time. And Ibrahim alayhi salam had made dua, "O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, send among my descendants, my family, somebody, a messenger who can carry on this tradition as Ibrahim himself did. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listened to his dua and accepted it, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came in his family as a result of dua of his father Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he used to say that I am dua of my father Ibrahim alayhi salam. So no doubt really, there's so much similarity between both messenger and prophet. Between Ibrahim alayhi salam and between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is so much similarity. If Ibrahim is the founder of this millah, certainly no doubt the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last messenger and seal of all the prophets in this family. There is no prophet in this family in the whole universe after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When we study the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or any messenger prophet, one thing we have to keep in mind very clearly, that we always keep missing this point in all the time, not only actually about prophet and messenger, about Allah himself and about the Quran. Very often what happens is Allah, messenger, book, the Quran and many other things related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they become just symbols and they become something sacred. To Allah the name becomes sacred, the Kaaba becomes sacred, the Prophet becomes sacred, the book becomes sacred, and we treat them like something sacred. If the Quran is there, you cannot put the Quran on the ground. You have to respect it in a high place and this thing, that thing. The Prophet's name should be respected and all those things. Certainly, no doubt, believers have to respect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and whatever is connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create people just for appreciation. The purpose is not that we appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The purpose actually is not that we appreciate the Quran. The purpose is not that we appreciate the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Truth of the matter is the prophets and messengers don't actually need our appreciation. To all the time keep praising the Prophet and messenger. To appreciation of the Prophet and messenger, that is not the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The prophets and messengers did not come in this world that people praise them, people appreciate them, and people write poetry about them. Like in India, we have got this great culture of Naat Goi, Naat and praise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is not the purpose of any messenger or any prophet. The prophets and messengers have been sent to this universe for only one purpose. There is no other purpose the Quran mentioned. The purpose actually to teach people how to worship your Lord. This thing, how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people never can learn from their mind. Mind cannot. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us certain faculties. We have got all the five senses. Eye, with the eye you can see, with the ear you can hear, with the nose you can smell, with the tongue you can taste, with the hands you can touch. All these five senses, they are the sources of the knowledge. And then Allah has given people the most noble thing, aql, intellect, which actually can do reasoning. But certainly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made a source of the knowledge much, much superior to all this. That knowledge nobody can get with eye. People cannot reach to that source. Eye cannot see that source. People cannot get that knowledge through hearing. People cannot get that knowledge through tasting. If there's nice food, you can taste it. But the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made special knowledge, you never can reach there through tasting or by touching. You cannot reach to that knowledge through your reasoning, through your mind. All the philosophers, people of the intellect and mind and reasoning, from people like Aristotle and all Greek philosophers and Muslim philosophers Ibn Sina and Farabi and intellectuals like Ibn Arabi, Ghazali and Razi, all these people, they never can infer that knowledge from their own mind. That knowledge actually is just with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It only is given to the people who Allah chooses. They cannot choose. It is revelation. It is revealed knowledge. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals this knowledge to the Prophet and Messenger, the purpose is not that people praise the Prophet and Messenger. They appreciate them. The only one purpose Allah has made in this world, whenever He sends a messenger, a prophet, the messengers and prophet must be obeyed. People learn from them how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No messenger and no prophet came on the face of that, but except one purpose. It is obligatory on the people to worship their Lord, to surrender to Him, full submission to Him. But how do you full submission to Him? You have to learn from the prophets and messenger. Any submission which comes from the mind or from any reasoning is never accepted. People must, excuse me, this only can be accepted if people learn from a prophet and messenger. That the whole purpose of prophet and messenger is, and that Quran keeps making clear that when messengers and prophets come, people have to learn from them how to worship their Lord. Meaning it, the virtue of the mankind, how somebody becomes great, how somebody becomes good and in good, it only depends on your ibadah. People never can become good in eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except through the ibadah. There is no other way. except through slavery to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this ibadah depends on the teachings of the prophets and messengers. People never have any way to access to the source of the knowledge except through a messenger. Nobody can do it. There's nobody who can see the dream. Nobody has inspiration. Nobody can know through his reasoning how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This only can be known how he teaches the messenger prophet. That what really we need to learn from a prophet and messenger, that how they have been worshipping their Lord and how they have been teaching. So when we study the life of prophet and messenger, very often there are people mixed between two things. One is what we call seerah and one is what we call sunnah. Seerah and sunnah. Many people don't have a difference in their mind what seerah means and what sunnah means. Seerah is important, but actually the reason why the messengers have been sent in this world is to learn from the sunnah. So that we have to understand what seerah and sunnah mean. I made there a circle. You can see there is a circle. And there is straight line, vertical line, a straight line. See that only to help you really to understand the difference between seerah and sunnah. Everybody in their life, they have got what we call a straight line. Meaning it, your life never repeated. When you are born, that day never, every day you are moving forward like a straight line. Basically, no moment of your life is ever repeated. It never happened. Though people celebrate their date of birth, but actually the thing is, that day when you are born, it never comes. It actually passes, it never can come. It's actually vertical line, straight line. It's not a circle that keeps coming. It's always straight. People always are moving. All the people. This line, which is straight line, it actually represents your life. That's how everybody's life is. This life, the time of the life and the space of the life is actually not chosen by you, not chosen by anybody. It is given by your Lord. When a messenger is born, it never has been chosen by a messenger. Which family a messenger is born, it is not chosen by a messenger. Time when he is born, not chosen by him. The space where he belongs, not chosen by. Same thing for everybody. Me and you never chose our parent. Did we choose our parent? Our parent have been given to us. Did we choose our language? Language was waiting for us before we were born. We never made our language. These are things what represent in the vertical line, all that is gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You never can choose that, you never can change it. It is all given from him. People's virtue does not lie in that straight line, because that's gift from Allah. You don't become good because you are born on certain date. You never can become good because you are born in certain family. You never can become good because you speak certain language. You never can become good because you have certain parent. This is actually not your virtue. Your virtue never can be a straight line. That is just a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given by him. Everybody has this vertical line and everybody's line is different from everybody. Your father's straight line is different from you. Your mother's is different from you. Yours is different from your children. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam line is different from Ibrahim. Ibrahim's line is different from Musa and Isa. And similarly, Abu Bakr Siddiq has his own straight line. Umar has his own straight line. And Uthman has his own straight line. And all wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all these people. So this actually we have to learn. Everybody has got his own life, a special life. Nobody can share it. Nobody's life can be same as other person's life. It is completely different thing. And no moment of your life ever can be repeated. So this thing you keep in mind. What this circle line actually is? Circle line is those actions which people need to repeat. That what actually is your virtue. This circle is your virtue. In this circle, if you become good, you can become as good as possible. This circle you have to apply on your vertical line. You have to apply this. What is circle actually is? Circle is all those commands of your Lord. All the things that people do in the day and night. This keeps coming. Every morning you have Fajr prayer. Every noon you have Dhuhr prayer. Every Asr prayer, Maghrib prayer, Asha prayer. These prayers keep coming. When you see somebody, you say Assalamu alaikum. When you thank your Lord, you say Alhamdulillah. When you glorify your Lord, you say Subhanallah. These things keep coming. Always there will be occasion in your life when you have to say Subhanallah, when you have to say Alhamdulillah, when you have to fast in the month of Ramadan, when you have to go for Hajj. This is circle. This circle line actually repeated all the time. And when it is repeated, every time you repeat it, your virtue increases. That circle must be correct. That circle must be taken from a prophet, a messenger. What you do in the morning, what you do in the afternoon, what you do in the evening, that you need to learn from him. That must be the same. Your vertical line is not the same. We don't have same line as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not the same date of birth, not the same time, not the same space. Nobody has same. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, they are so similar, but they don't have the same line. But the circle line, that must be as possible, as much close to the Prophet as possible. The circle line actually is the Sunnah. Circle actually is the teaching of the Prophet and Messenger. Circle is the Quran. The circle is the revelation. And actually this straight line, that is Seerah. What people really, why we need to learn the Seerah of the Prophet? To understand the context. We know that this man was born in a certain context, in Makkah al-Mukarramah, in this family, and all those things. How his space and time, actually influence him. And why, how the revelation, he had to adjust the revelation in his own space and time. Every prophet and messenger, when they receive the revelation, they adjust the revelation in their own space and time. Similarly, you learn from a prophet, from any prophet, that when you have your own space, you have to learn how to adjust the revelation in your space and time. If you learn the adjustment properly, you can become nearer to them as much as possible. Meaning it, you must think. You must think really about his context, his life in Makkah and Medina. He has his own context, his own special line. You have to understand that, and you have to learn from him that how he applied this circle in that straight line. That way you can see Abu Bakr and Umar, they are not copy. Abu Bakr and Umar, they are not true copy of the Prophet ﷺ because they don't have the same line. But what they are true followers of the Prophet ﷺ. Meaning it, they learn the Sunnah from him, then they apply the Sunnah to their own special straight line, to their own life. And they differ. For example, when Imam leads the prayer, all the believers, we follow the Imam, but we don't copy the Imam. We follow from him. Meaning it, Imam makes intention for the prayer, we also make intention. But at the time when he makes intention, not necessarily we make intention at the same time, we differ from him. Because actually I am different from you, you are different from me when we make intention. Similarly, the quality of the intention, how pure the intention is, everybody different from other person. And actually your nearness to your Lord depends on the quality of your intention. To try to understand that the difference there is actually between the circle and between the straight line. The straight line represents the seerah of a prophet, a messenger, or life of any individual. And the circle line, that actually is what is special. That actually what Quran is. That what the Sunnah of the Prophet. We can say circle is the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So people need to learn seerah. Why? So you learn how to adjust this Sunnah. The real thing is the Sunnah. Real thing is the teachings of the Quran. Real thing is the teachings of the application of the Quran by the Prophet ﷺ into his life. That's real thing, the real message. But that message, when you apply that, it's not so easy. Because you can see everybody's conditions are different. You can see in your life, when you pray, sometimes you are tired, your prayer is different. Sometimes you need to sleep, you have to pray quickly. Sometimes you are traveling, then you combine between two prayers. Or sometimes shorten the prayer. You can see when conditions of your life changes, that circle changes. If people don't learn the context, they never can be able to apply the Sunnah properly. And the Prophet ﷺ was fully aware, even in the month of Ramadan, when his companions are traveling with him and they're going for a war, the Prophet ﷺ commands them to break their fast. Month of Ramadan, sacred month. You cannot, you have to fast in the month of Ramadan. If anybody intentionally in the month of Ramadan at their home, they break the fast, it's kafara. And if they don't fast, it is actually big sin. But a messenger, he teaches people to respect the month of Ramadan. But same messenger, time comes when he commands people to break the fast. A messenger commands people to fast, to do the prayer on the time. Quran says, "Inna salata kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaba mawquta." The prayer is obligatory on the believers on the time. But same messenger who is so keen to do every prayer on the time. Actually, as soon as the time comes, the Prophet prays. But same messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he travels, sometimes you can see him combining between two prayers. When he came to Arafat in the Hajj, he lead the prayer of Dhuhr and Asr in the time of the Dhuhr. When he moved from Arafat to Muzdalifah, people said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so many Osama bin Zayd, and many people said to him, "As-salatu ya Rasulullah, as-salatu ya Rasulullah," or Allah's messenger, now the time for Maghrib. He said, no, the prayer ahead of us. He delayed the prayer until he comes to Muzdalifah, and then he combines between Maghrib and Isha. He prayed the Maghrib in the time of the Isha. Same messenger teaches you that you must learn how to adjust the circle into your straight line. Adjustment is very, very important. Try to understand When people don't learn the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, they become very much strict, no flexibility, and all the time giving fatwa, this is haram, that halal, all the time making life difficult for the believers. They don't understand that actually the real following of the Prophet is to learn the adjustment in the life. You learn really how to apply the sunnah to your vertical line. So this one thing keep in mind, difference between sunnah and seerah. Now we're coming to the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. Few things inshallah about that, and then I come to sunnah. About seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, keep in mind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam, has chosen the Prophet ﷺ to be in the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Because that was the dua of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, and Allah accepted that. And promise was that in your family a messenger will come who has this quality. So the Prophet ﷺ, on a right time, which Allah has chosen, he is born in the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. His father is Abdullah, grandfather Abdul Muttalib, the best family of Quraysh. So no doubt Quraysh people, they are chosen people, and Quran actually mentions this family amazingly, more than once in Surah Al-Teen and many other surahs. So that is the chosen family of Quraysh, Banu Hashim. Quraysh has got three major families. Quraysh, all of them are chosen, they are all family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. But within the Quraysh, there are three families which are leading family. Banu Umayyah, from whom actually is Abu Sufyan ibn Harb, then Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala. Banu Umayyah are one of the powerful family of Quraysh. Then Banu Makhzum, from the Banu Makhzum is Abu Jahl, and Walid ibn Mughira, and then Walid's son Khalid ibn Walid, as you know, the great conqueror, is from Banu Makhzum. The third great family of Quraysh is Banu Hashim. And Banu Hashim actually in Jahiliyyah, they had more respect than other families. They were leading. Abdul Muttalib and Hashim. Hashim was the leader of Quraysh. Then after the death of Hashim, Abdul Muttalib became the leader of Quraysh. So the Prophet ﷺ is born in the chosen family, in the leading family of Quraysh. He is born, and as we know, before he was born, his father Abdullah died, passed away. And when he was a very young child, 6-year-old, his mother also passed away. And then when he became 8-year-old, even his grandfather Abdul Muttalib has passed away. The time when he was born, that time is known among Arab people by the year of elephant, Amul Fil, because they used to remember the history by major events. So one of the major events was, these people from Yemen came and they wanted to destroy the Kaaba. So this is called in Arabic language Amul Fil, the year of the elephant. That is the year when the Prophet ﷺ was born in this family. You can see really so much similarity between him and his father Ibrahim. Same thinking, same understanding, same growth, everything is so similar, so much similarity between both of them. Ibrahim alayhi salam is born in a family, they worship idols, they worship star, they worship moon, they worship sun, as you have seen really. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, is a man thinker. He removes all the curtain of the cultures and tradition and the family, and he can see very clearly that no, the idols don't benefit him, don't harm him. You can see in our time, actually, no doubt, really, I'm coming from India. In India, no doubt, among Hindus, there are so many great people, philosophers, thinkers, all those people. But the problem is, when same people, they come to a temple, they don't think. They bow their head in front of an idol made from the stone. No thinking. Ibrahim actually different. Born in that family, but Ibrahim can think. He can remove the veils. He can think that these idols don't harm, don't benefit. They can't do anything. How can I worship them? So that's why Quran mentions Ibrahim, وَآتَيْنَاهُ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ. We have given Ibrahim thinking from very beginning. Same thing in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, grown up in a family who worship idols. In Makkah al-Mukarramah, in the house of Allah, house built by Ibrahim for pure ibadah. Ibrahim built this Kaaba for pure ibadah. He actually mentioned very clearly in the Quran. It is mentioned in the Quran. Pure house built by Ibrahim, and Allah loved that house so much. And Allah said, I made this house center of all the people until the day of Qiyamah, Qiyamah linnas. This house is forever, for all of mankind, not only for Arabs or non-Arabs, for everybody. This house which was built for pure ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the same house of Ibrahim, 360 idols. Ibrahim who came to smash the idols, now in the house of Ibrahim, 360 idols. And Ibrahim, the prophets of family, and all the Quraysh, they are involved in worshipping, in protecting the idol, loving them, and doing tawaf around the idols. The idols are central in Makkah al-Mukarramah for a few hundred years. And when the Prophet is born, it is still there. But no, he is a thinker. He thinks idols don't make sense to him. He could see clearly that how people can bow their head in front of idols. This thing does not make any sense to him. And people say really, even before he became prophet when he was 40 years old. 40-year life is big life. But within this 40 years of his life, people never have seen him worshipping any idol. It never happened in Makkah al-Mukarramah, he bowed to any idol. A thinker. Generally people in their family, they follow their culture. But especially when you are a young boy, you don't know so much. You still can follow a culture of your, like we people follow a culture of our people. Many things we do in India and Pakistan, not because this is actually religion of Allah or in the Quran Sunnah. We do because we are grown up in a culture. And in that culture, we cannot think differently from that. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam born in a culture, in a religion where people worship idols. But nobody ever has seen him bowing his head in front of any idol. Never happened. Because he's a thinker, he actually thinks how, and he's not a messenger, he's not a prophet. He's not a prophet, a messenger, he got revelation. He became prophet when he was 40 years old. Isa alayhi salam became prophet and messenger when he was born, a child. So certainly, he got revelation. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had no revelation like his father Ibrahim. Ibrahim, when he refused the idols, not because of revelation, because clear thinking, reasoning properly, purity of the mind, purity of the intellect. Same the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he did not bow to any idol, reason is purity of the mind. That's what we really need. Many people ask that what we need to teach the children. Teach the children pure thinking. When they think, they don't actually use any glass or in any curtain. They remove all the curtains and think for themselves purely. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam born in that environment, but never bows to any idol. He grows with honesty, with the truth, and everybody in Makkah al-Mukarramah, they witness that this man is great man. He never lies, never cheat anybody. Even unbelievers, all the people later on who became his enemy, still they used to trust in him so much. His amana, his sidq, his truth is so clearly known. People, when they used to see him, they could say, Ma hadha biwajh kadhabin. This face never can be face of a liar. Pure character, pure manner, purity of the mind, purity of the body. People never have seen him involved in anything which can be sin, which can be evil. He never spoke evil, he never did any evil. From where? From his own thinking. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made people like that. If you are thinking pure, then your nature basically is supported. You remain pure. But when people thinking becomes corrupted by the culture, then basically their nature also becomes corrupted. In this environment, with purity of thinking and mind, the Prophet grows. And when he becomes nearly 40 years old, he could see really that his heart wants to bow to his Lord, not to the idols, to bow to his Lord. But he does not know how to worship him. Now Hanafiya of his father comes strongly in his mind. Hanafiya led Ibrahim to come to Makkah al-Mukarramah. Why? Because Makkah was a pure land, no distraction, no attraction, no building, no idol worshipping. He comes to Makkah al-Mukarramah to build a house of Hunafa, build a house for Hanafiya. Now his son Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam born in Makkah al-Mukarramah, but Makkah al-Mukarramah is no more center of Hanafiya. Makkah al-Mukarramah is place of worshipping the idols. He really wants to bow to his Lord. He wants to worship him. He wants to obey him, but he does not know what to do. Now Hanafiya makes him to abandon the Makkah. Makkah is not a place. Like Musa alayhi salam comes to Madian, to what he said, ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ. Because he can see, he has to turn to a place where there can be Hanafiya. Shadow actually represents Hanafiya. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam can see, Makkah is not a place to worship. Makkah is not a place where he can worship his Lord. Ibrahim came, then that time Makkah was place of Hanafiya. When Prophet Muhammad is born, now Makkah is no more place of Hanafiya. What he does, he leaves Makkah al-Mukarramah. He takes some provision, some food. He takes a refuge to a cave outside Makkah al-Mukarramah, the cave of Hira. He goes there, leave Makkah al-Mukarramah, leave the idols, leave the noise, leave actually all the business of the people. He does not enjoy that. He leaves all that, leaves the family, everybody, like his father Ibrahim. Hanifan ilallah ta'ala. Completely, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands in the Hanifan, he became Hanif. Spending day and night in that cave, worshipping, he just want to worship him. Certainly Allah loves that. When you are thirsty and you want water, Allah will give you water. When you want to worship your Lord, when your nature is longing to bow to him, and when you insist on that, he will guide you. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always promises. Quran says, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. He found you that you don't know how to worship your Lord, and you longing for that. Your nature is so much in desperate need to worship your Lord. You longing for that. He knows that. He has seen you desperate to worship your Lord. Fahada. Then he guided you. Then he helped you how to worship your Lord. One day a revelation comes to him in that cave. He just learned, he just want to know how to worship his Lord. One day when he was in the cave, after a few months of this practice, few months when his purity became very clear, Hanafiya became established in his heart, no attachment to anything in this universe other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now he comes, he wants to teach him how to worship his Lord. Then an angel comes to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that cave, a prophet who never knew really what angels mean. He never knew, never read any scripture, never read any book. He never knows what Torah means. He never knows what gospel means. He never actually knew what Ibrahim's teaching had been. He never learned anywhere. There was no school in Makkah al-Mukarramah. There was nobody who can teach him. He had no idea of any revelation, nothing. And suddenly this man, because out of thirst and out of his longing, Allah wants to help him. Allah wants to guide him how to worship his Lord. And Allah wants to choose him to teach people how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then an angel comes to him in that lonely place and comes to him and asks and said to him, the angel says to him, Iqra. This meaning is not very clear, because when we read Iqra, we think it means read. That's what the professor thought. Iqra means read. And he certainly knows he is not reader. He never knows what to reading means. He did not know what the sentence means. He was thinking Iqra means to read. And he does not know how to read. So he says, anybody will say, Ma ana biqari. I am not a reader. I don't know how to read. I never learned reading. Ma ana biqari. Hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and all the major sources, and the word is agreed by all the people, and this is actually great hadith of Aisha anha, on which everybody agrees. So, because she has learned this thing, this story from the Prophet directly. So when the angel asked him to read, Iqra, the Prophet like a true person, honest person, Ma ana biqari, I am not a reader, I don't know how to read. And then the angel presses him very hard. Hatta balagha minni al-jahda, as much as possible. And then again he releases him. Thumma arsalani. Then the angel released the Prophet ﷺ and asked him, read. And the Prophet is still thinking reading means reading. So he said, Ma ana biqari. I am not a reader. I don't know how to read. What I read, I don't know anything. So then angel actually pressed him a second time again. And according to some narration, three times pressing and reading the Prophet ﷺ. Then the angel says to him, Iqra. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. This revelation came to the Prophet ﷺ. Now the meaning is going to become clear to him what actually these verses mean. And the Prophet ﷺ, and then angel left him. New experience. Never he knew what revelation means really. In his family nobody has been prophet. Nobody has been Makkah al-Mukarramah. He does not know what this is really. He became scared. He became frightened. He came to his house, to his wife, very much scared, and people say really his wife was an amazing person, one of the most noble lady of Makkah al-Mukarramah, intelligent woman, clever, wise lady, and when he comes to her and said that I have fear of my life, I don't know what is going to happen to me, I'm so much scared, and then he explains what happened to him in the cave. This lady, many women, they become more scared than the men, but this lady, amazing lady, and people say she is the first believer in the whole universe. Actually, even when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had doubt about himself, she had no doubt. The Prophet passed by a period of doubt because the Prophet did not really know what happened to him. But she never had doubt in the revelation. When he said, I am scared about my life, she said, no, don't worry, because you are a different person. I know you. You always look after the orphans. You help the needy people. You are, all the qualities which are actually great. People who have these qualities, God never can abandon them. This understanding, thinking that these qualities mean nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this amazing. And in Makkah al-Mukarramah, she is also a thinker. In Makkah al-Mukarramah, a lady is grown and she has a nice argument. This evidence, she thinks this man, and actually if anybody is praised by his wife, that person must be great. You can say, because your wife sees you 24 hours. I can pretend in front of you that I am a better person. But my wife sees me 24 hours. If she said I am good, then certainly I must be very good. If your children actually praise you, that you must be good. But if other people praise you, that's why the Prophet used to say, khayrukum li ahlihi. The best among you are those who are best for their family and wife. Wa ana khayrukum li ahli, and best among all of you for my wife and for my family. That actually is the criteria for the good people. If your wife loves you and likes you and praises you, it means really you have certain quality. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, first person praises him, actually is in this matter and supports him, his wife Khadija radiallahu anha, and then she takes him to her own cousin Warqa ibn Nawfal, and he had some experience So when he listened to the story, he said, actually, this is the same angel, same secret agent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who came to Musa alayhi salam and came to you. And I've read in scripture, you are going to become the prophet of this people. And I wish if I'm alive the time when your people are going to force you to leave Makkah al-Mukarramah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had no idea these people are in Makkah al-Mukarramah. They love him so much. They respect him so much. They're going to force me to leave Makkah al-Mukarramah. He said, "Awa mukhrijiyahum." Are they going to make me to leave Makkah al-Mukarramah? How is it possible? He said, yes, anybody who brought what you brought, they always have been forced to leave their own city. It will happen to you. And then the Prophet ﷺ comes back. Now his heart, calms down. And the enjoyment, a taste of a revelation, now he's missing. That revelation actually he's missing now. And for a few days or some time, long time, a revelation does not come. He's so much looking for that revelation that really he does not know what to do. Expression is like killing himself. Though he's not going to kill himself, meaning is so much attachment to that revelation. What happened after this revelation? That actually what we need to learn. After this revelation, many people think, many Muslims are always out, all the time in the world keep saying that Islam has so much respect for the knowledge and this and that. Certainly, no doubt, in Islam there's knowledge. And when Islam came, Islam really increased the knowledge of the people. Certainly in the Quran there are verses in the virtue of the knowledge. And there are so many hadith about the virtue of the knowledge. But Surah Iqra is not about that. It has a virtue much better than the knowledge. But we all the time keep missing. We use this surah to teach people that Islam, the first thing is read. If that is the meaning, tell me really, if Allah commands the Prophet ﷺ read, what he will do? He will start a school. Did the Prophet Muhammad start a school in Makkah al-Mukarramah to teach people how to read? How to learn reading and writing? Did he do this? Did he himself learn how to read? If Allah's command is to read, reading and writing as we people think, then certainly the Prophet Muhammad after this verse, he should learn how to read. But actually he never learned how to read. He never learned. He never learned how to read and write. It never happened. Then the command must be something different. That's what people have to learn actually. This does not mean then Islam learning is not important. The Prophet you learning. In the Battle of Badr, when 70 people among unbelievers have been arrested, the Prophet wanted to forgive them because Umar Khattab wanted them to be killed. And he said, everybody should kill his own relative. And I'm going to kill my own relative. But the Prophet, out of his softness of his heart, he wanted to forgive the people. And he said, if they pay some money or some ransom, we'll free them. Some of unbelievers said, but we don't have any money to pay. He said, among you, those who know writing, if they can teach Muslim children how to write, will free you. You see how he keen is. The first teachers of Muslim children in Makkah al-Mukarramah, Medina, were not Muslims, non-Muslims. Non-Muslims are those who taught Muslims how to read and write. They are the teachers. And the Prophet, you can see the Prophet, how keen he is for knowledge. He did not feel any problem to make Muslims to learn from non-Muslims. And that always has been established in Islam. So I certainly no doubt in Islam there is so much learning, so much teaching. In the Quran there are so many verses of that. But certainly Surah Iqra is not for that purpose. It is actually something beyond that. Something more than the learning. Something real virtue of the mankind really. If you look in the Quran, whenever Quran mentions Qira'ah, Iqra, Quran mentions many verses, people keep missing that meaning. Sometimes Quran mentions about the Quran, Tilawa, Tilawatul Quran. Sometimes Quran says Rattil Quran Tartila. Sometimes many other words. But sometimes Quran also mentions Qira'ah, Iqra. What Qira'atun means? Tell me really, why the Prophet Muhammad came to the cave of Hira? Did he was desperate to learn how to read? To Allah revealed to him how to read? What was he desperate? What was he looking for in the cave of Hira? He was desperate to know how to worship his Lord. Only thing actually his mind is worshipping of his Lord. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listens to him, so he should teach him how to worship his Lord. That is going to teach him. Iqra actually means ibadah. What meaning of Iqra is? Iqra means read the Quran in the prayer. The first revelation came to the Prophet ﷺ to do the prayer. That's why you can see in the same surah, after few verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ara'ayta alladhi yanha abdan idha salla. Have you seen the one who stops a slave from the prayer? In that surah there had no mention of the prayer. The only mention of the prayer is in Iqra. Meaning is, the Prophet ﷺ, after the first revelation, what he learned? He learned how to pray. Angel came he taught him how to do wudu and how to do prayer. After the first revelation, what he learned actually, how to pray. The prayer is the most important virtue and the first command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for any messenger, any prophet. When Musa alayhi salam comes from Madian and he comes to Egypt, he moves to Egypt. In the night, With his cold night, he desperate to get a fire. And suddenly he sees light. He said to his family, قَالَ لِأَهْلِهِ أُمْكُثُوا. He said to his family, wait for me here. إِنِّي آنَسْتُ نَارًا. I can see a fire there. I'll go to fire. Maybe I can get guidance how to move to Egypt, or maybe I can get fire, so I'll bring for you. You can have something to make you warm. He comes to the fire, and when he comes to the fire, the voice comes to Musa alayhi salam, "O Musa, ikhla'na alayk, take off your shoes. Innaka bil wadi al muqaddas tuwa. You are in a holy land, holy valley, tuwa, pure place. Take off your shoes." Musa alayhi salam take off the shoes, and then the voice said to Musa alayhi salam, "Innani ana Allah, la ilaha illa ana fa'budni." O Musa, I am Allah. La ilaha illa ana, ay la ma'buda illa ana. There is no ma'bud, no one to be worshipped other than me. No ibadah for anyone other than me. I am the ma'bud. I am one who to be worshipped. First revelation come to Musa alayhi salam, what said? La ilaha illa ana. No ma'bud, no ilah, no one worthy to worship except me. Fa'budni. Then worship me alone. Wa aqimis salata li dhikri. And establish the prayer to remember me. The first revelation, the prayer. And no doubt really, there is nothing more virtuous for the mankind, than the prayer. Nothing more virtuous. The prayer actually is the real command of Allah. If somebody has to say, deen means prayer, salah, they are not wrong really. If you read the Quran, you can see, salah, deen or Islam actually is salah. Salah is the major command of Allah. Salah is the one which makes the people nearer to their Lord. Salah is the major command to Ibrahim alayhi salam. When Allah commanded Ibrahim alayhi salam to build that house in the valley of Makkah al-Mukarramah, the Kaaba, the first command Allah said to Ibrahim alayhi salam, make this house for my people, so they can pray there, they can do qiyam, they can do ruku', they can do sajda, the full prayer taught to Ibrahim alayhi salam. The first command came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the prayer. And you can see really, after the first revelation, people don't see him starting school. He's not teaching people how to read. After first revelation, people see him everywhere in Makkah al-Mukarramah, when he's alone, when he's in the valley of Makkah al-Mukarramah, when he's in the mountain. Strangers come, what they notice in Makkah, a new change. They see Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his wife Khadija, in the prayer. New thing in Makkah al-Mukarramah. Nobody has done this thing. First thing he learned actually the prayer. This actually human nature is to stand in front of the Lord, to do ruku, to do sajda. This is such a desperate nature of the human being. When you get that, actually the people become more happy in the prayer than a child in the arm of the mother. Think really, if there's a baby, a small baby, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, just and his mother is there, you can see the young babies, the children, they play around and the mother is there. But what happens if the mother leaves the room? The child, if there is a mother, if mother leaves the room, what the children do? They still play. Mother is there, so they're happy, they play for her. As soon as the mother leaves the room, then they cry. They say to the child, no, don't worry, your mother has gone, but he's so many toys, play with the toys. Toys don't make him happy. Toys cannot make any child happy. Try to understand really that even if you give to tell a child, okay, don't worry, your mother has gone, we are going to give you 1 million riyal. He's going to be happy? Million riyals cannot make him happy. Tell him that I am going to make you the king of the universe. Is the child going to be happy? No. He needs his mother. When the mother comes, he gets the peace in his heart. Without the mother, nothing can make any sense for him really. That's how the believer's heart actually is. Without his Lord, believers actually don't find a peace in anything. They're missing that peace. Where the prayer actually is that peace. The one of the Indian film star. You have must read this thing somebody has been quoting a very nice story. He said in one of the film, he said to one of the boy that I have got I have money, I've got millions and millions of rupees in my bank account. I've got a car and I've got a big bungalow and house and palace. What you have got? He asked the boy, what you have got? The boy said, I've got my mom. I've got my mom really. For a boy, his mom is more valuable than the money, than millions of pounds. For a boy, for a child, it is more important to have his mom than actually to have a car. When he has a mom, happy. Any trouble comes to the arm of the mother. Believers really become more happy when they are in arm of the Lord. You never can be in arm of your Lord except in the prayer. The prayer is the only place when you are with your Lord. That is why in the Quran, sometimes it says ista'inu bis salah, and sometimes same thing is called ista'inu billah. Both have same meaning. Isti'ana billah and isti'ana bis salah has same meaning. Actually in the Quran you can say wa'alamu anna Allah ma'al muttaqeen. Quran said no, Allah is with those who have taqwa. Quran also says inna Allah ma'al sabirin. Allah is with those who do sabr. But Quran never said inna Allah ma'al musalleen. Allah is with those who pray. Because the prayer is actually with presence with Allah. You can't say Allah is with the people who pray, because that's what prayer means. Prayer means you are in the presence of your Lord. And that you can see really pure Hanifiyya. In the prayer you turn away from everything. Even you cannot eat. If you eat in the prayer, prayer becomes invalid. You cannot talk. Even if your mom calls you, maybe it becomes obligatory sometime on you to respond to your mom. But when you go to your mom, your prayer becomes invalid. You cannot turn away. You cannot talk. You cannot actually do something else. You have to focus on prayer. It is pure Hanifiyya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually responds to the Prophet. Surah Al-Iqra, actually the major command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have this virtue. The Prophet wanted to have something where he can actually, just surrender to his Lord, full submission to his Lord, and Allah gave him the prayer. Read the Quran. The Quran means qira'atul Quran means qira'atul Quran fi salah. Read the Quran. The prayer. The Quran says, إذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا. When the Quran is read, then listen to the Quran and be quiet. What it means? Anywhere? No, in the prayer. When the Quran is read in the prayer, qira'atul Quran means reading the Quran in the prayer. When the Quran is read in the prayer, become quiet and listen to the Quran. So the first command comes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the prayer. And this actually Hanifiyya in the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is so amazing. All his life really, just prayer. All his life. In the hadith comes Sahih hadith. كان إذا حزبه أمر فزع إلى الصلاة. Whenever the Prophet ﷺ used to have any problem, any difficult matter, anything which is serious, he used to take refuge to the prayer. In the prayer he is with his Lord. Anything happens, the prayer. For every single problem, when the sun eclipse, prayer. When any trouble, people need to have rain, he turns to the prayer. Every time he turns to his Lord. The only turning to his Lord actually, the prayer. The prayer is the most important thing in the life of the Prophet ﷺ. In the night, during the daytime, in all the Quran saying, Ya ayyuhal muzammil, qum al-layla illa qalila, nisfahu aw inqus minhu qalila, aw zid alayhi. Half night, 1/3 night, 2/3 night. So that was the first thing actually the Prophet ﷺ got revelation is to learn how to pray. For Hanifiyya and submission to his Lord. And there no doubt really after 2 or 3 years, then revelation comes to the Prophet ﷺ. Now you have become nearer to him. Now you have got actually this Quran, which makes you so much in love of your Lord. Surrender, submission to him. That's what believers really need. Now in the world, what happening is, now we are believers. But nobody actually knows this thing. Think really, that if prayer can give you the peace of the heart, peace of the mind, people will be happy to follow you. They can see a Muslim when he prays, he's so different from other people. The prayer should be more attractive than anything else. But actually no. Our prayer does not make a difference because we don't learn how to pray. We really don't know the prayer means Hanifiyya. We don't know really it means turning away from everything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I tell to people in England, sometimes when I teach them, that you see in England, most people have come from South Asia, from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all these countries. And we people, when we came here, we have so much respect for the English culture and their way of life. Everybody learns how to speak English language. Everybody has their clothes like English people's clothes. Same culture. We have forgotten India completely, become like a British people. Nothing remains there. I can see really people basically, though the color of his skin is different, but you can see in daily life people become actually same like the Western people. But one thing they did not leave, their food. Indian people still, they love biryani. They did not actually leave biryani for British food. They don't like British food. Indian people don't like British food. They love their biryani, they enjoy that, they taste it, and they enjoy it so much that now actually, for a long time now, British, English people, they also start loving the biryani. Now actually Indian restaurants are more popular than Western restaurants. What actually happening is, why every single thing we left and we become like them, but not the food. Somehow, deep in the heart, is actually this enjoyment with the food. We love our food. We think Indian people think really every other food they don't have taste. Indian food have got taste. Whether we right or wrong, that's what deep in the heart is. And it is so deep in the heart that when we eat, we enjoy. And people can see we enjoy. To other people who never know what biryani means, when they see us, they say, okay, let's actually see why they were so keen for biryani. And then they taste, afterwards they start loving it. So now basically in the whole UK, the most popular food you can be actually Indian food is biryani. Everybody likes it. There's nobody who actually has any problem with biryani. Tell me what the reason is. Think really, because we love it. We enjoy that. And people can see. I had one friend in Oxford. He was from Lahore. The people from Lahore, Indian people generally, they have curry and especially their food is very, very hot. But Lahore people, their food is much more hot than anywhere else. So they used to make so much chili and so much spice. So when they eat, not easy. And for me, it was so difficult, but still we used to enjoy it because it's so tasty. So sometimes you can see really when people eat the hard food, they're sweating from the eye, from the ear, from the face. If people pass by them, they say you are in punishment. It's a real punishment. You are in suffering. But you ask the person who is eating, you ask people from Lahore, are you in punishment? Is it punishment that you're eating this food? Somebody punishing you? They say, no, we enjoy that. You think it is suffering, but we enjoy that. That really what, consider that how believers really are. When believers are in Iman, Islam, when Muslim women, they put their head scarf. People pass by them, they say, comment on them. So much suffering for the women. But ask Muslim women, they'll say, no, we enjoy that. That's how Iman is. For other people from outside, look suffering. But people really enjoy that. That's how we should have done with the prayer. If we enjoyed the prayer properly, really, people would have left to learn from us the prayer. We have actually even did not enjoy the prayer, we enjoy the food. People learn from us the food, but they don't learn from us how to pray. Everybody's heart is thirsty, really. Everybody's heart actually needs to surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody wants a full submission to Him. They really need, but they don't see anything anywhere where they can see submission. If we people have proper submission, people will love really to learn from us. Because everybody is born on the same nature. As I mentioned in the morning, Ibrahim was not only person who is Hanif. The whole universe is Hanif. When a child is born, he is born as Ibrahim. Every child is born with the same mind as Ibrahim. Everything in this universe actually is Ibrahimi. Everything has same nature, same turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single thing. Everybody is Ibrahimi. But the problem is the culture corrupts the people. If we Muslims have shown the people this submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people who have learned from us. And the Prophet certainly when he used to pray, people used to love him actually. His prayer was so attractive. When he used to pray really, people used to, people can see really how this religion is different. Anybody who saw him praying, they could become in love with the prayer. And people actually guard from him. And the Prophet has so much concentration. And when people asked Aisha that how the Prophet was in the house, so she said, كَانَ يَكُونُ فِي مِهْنَةِ أَهْلِهِ. The Prophet in the house used to do same thing with the family do. He was helping his wife, he's helping doing all the things in the house, washing his clothes, repairing the clothes, anything in the house he does. But when Adhan is said, then he would become, he does not recognize us, he does not know us. Adhan actually makes his face different. Adhan changes him. He used to say to Bilal, Arahna biha ya Bilal. Oh Bilal, say Adhan, so I get comfort. So desperate for the prayer. He used to say, Ju'ilat qurratu ayni fi salah. Coolness of my eye has been made in the prayer. He loved the prayer. That's how the Prophet has been. This Hanifiyya, this religion actually has attraction. And the Prophet certainly, with that attractive religion, he really stayed in Makkah al-Mukarramah. And many pure people turned to him, Abu Bakr Siddiq, pure mind. Even Jahiliyyah, people have not seen him in the evil. When this religion came, he is the first person to accept really. Never denied, never refused actually, accepted that. Many people, many men, many women, they learned the religion from the Prophet ﷺ. And he lived there for so many years, and you can see life was full of suffering and all the problems until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the Prophet ﷺ that now you can leave Makkah al-Mukarramah and you can move to new place, Madinah Munawwarah. Then he allowed his people and then they moved. New phase is starting. But the thing actually is, he did not leave Makkah al-Mukarramah out of his choice. Sometimes actually we misinterpret the history. We think actually what actually matters in the life is to establish a state. So we say the Prophet left Makkah al-Mukarramah to establish an Islamic state in Madinah. No, he did not leave actually. He did not want to leave Makkah al-Mukarramah. When he left Makkah al-Mukarramah, he turned his face to Makkah al-Mukarramah and he said to Makkah al-Mukarramah, oh land of Makkah, if your people had not forced me to leave, I never would have left you. He did not want to leave Makkah al-Mukarramah. He has been forced to leave. He wanted to work. People did not allow him to worship his Lord. If people allowed him to worship his Lord in peace, he never would have left Makkah al-Mukarramah. he wants to teach people. He does not want to rule the world. People of Makkah al-Mukarramah came to the Prophet ﷺ and said to him, if you want, we can make you king of this valley. He had no interest in the kingship. He's from the family of Ibrahim. Ibrahim does not want to become, ruler or this and that. Ibrahim wants to be Hanif. He wants, this purity, depth of Islam. Actually, much bigger, much greater than the kingship. People have no idea really. When you worship your Lord with the depth of your heart, how deep you become, how you become close to your Lord. One ibadah, one prayer makes you so deep and so near to your Lord. The kingdom of the universe, nothing compared to that really. Believers, the kingdom in his heart. One of the great Imam of Islam, Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, he was in Damascus at the end of 7th century, beginning of the 8th century. He died in the year 728, rahimahullah ta'ala. A lot of contribution in the history. And once people complained to him, to the ruler of Syria, that this man has got so many disciples, he wants to rebel against you. He is gathering all the people to rebel against you. And then the king, kings allow you to worship in their land, but no king can allow you to rebel. It's impossible. You can't have actually two kings in the same land. Like Sheikh Sadi rahimahullah ta'ala said, it is possible that 7 poor people, they can sleep in one blanket. 7 poor people can sleep in one blanket. But 2 kings can't live in the 7 countries. Even 7 countries, of the world. The world used to meet to them like 7 countries. They can't live in there. So you can see really, this actually, the real thing about these people really is, this depth, the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ibadah, the depth of that how was Ibrahim, that how has been Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, this nearness to their Lord. Nearness to their Lord actually is much dearer to them than anything else. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was forced. People did not allow him to worship his Lord. He could not worship him. When he's worshipping, always they make trouble for him. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed him to leave Makkah al-Mukarramah, then he came to Madinah Munawwarah, new space, new people. And now certainly no doubt the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam easily can worship his Lord, and the life in Madinah Munawwarah certainly, as grows, and then followers grow. Then you have Battle of Badr and Battle of Uhud. Then you have many other battles until the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is able to come to Makkah al-Mukarramah as a conqueror. As you know the story, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to Makkah al-Mukarramah with a strong army of 10,000 people, great people. Whatever he commands them, they do really. They never actually can disobey him. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to Makkah al-Mukarramah very easily, conquers the whole city. And then after that he gathers all the people of Quraysh who have been his enemy, opposing him, causing all problems for his family and for his followers. They are in front of him. And then he said, do you know what I'm going to do with you? They say, we expect, you are Kareem, noble man. We expect what we expect from a noble. He said, now I'm going to say to you same thing what Yusuf said to his brothers. La tathriba alaykum al-yawm. Nothing, no blame upon you really. He forgave all of them. Such a pure person, no revenge, nothing. He forgave all of them, and these people became champions of his religion. And then after that, the Prophet tells his religion spreads everywhere until he comes for the last and final Hajj. And then after that, he comes within a few months, he falls ill, and then he goes to his Lord and he leaves this world. Small life, 23 years, but active, proper, no laziness. Because believers don't need laziness. The Prophet's life, 23 years of the life, but always active. All the time, basically, fasting and prayer and jihad and fighting and looking after the people and trouble, making peace with the people. All the time, life, full of the activity. And that's what actually Allah wants from the believers. Lazy people never can be in this religion. This religion actually nothing to do with lazy people. Those who don't think, they can't be good believers. People who don't act properly, don't work hard, they cannot be proper believers. That's how the Prophet ﷺ, just I wanted to summarize to say because I don't have much time, but I want to come really to the Sunnah part. That's what we knew really. You have seen actually his context of the life. Now come to really that what is his teaching, what actually the message has been of the Prophet ﷺ. So amazing that changed the world. People ask actually what is the miracle of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, what is the miracle of the Quran. If you want to look at the miracle of the Quran, look life of Abu Bakr Siddiq, Umar al-Faruq, Uthman Ali, Aisha, Khadija, Fatima, pure people. There never has been any book on the face of the earth which produced people like that. There never has been a book. You never can find in any religion anybody similar to Abu Bakr Siddiq. There nobody, no religion ever has got to be somebody similar to him. That's what the Prophet actually achieved. Within few years of his life, he changed the world really, changed the history, so amazingly. learning what this person was, what this man really did, how he really went deep into the heart of the people, how was his approach to the people, how he worked in his life. One thing is learned from his life really is that this man, chosen man, angels come and talk with him. If any angel comes talk with me, then all the day I will never talk with you. There's a story in India, in Rajasthan, during British rule. There was a farmer in Rajasthan. He was in his field and looking after the field. A white man, it was British rule, a white person was traveling. So he came to this Indian farmer and asked him that I just missed my way. So can you tell me how to reach to my destination? And the farmer became happy and told him how to reach. Then after that, the farmer became very quiet, not talking to anybody. The family comes, he does not talk, quiet. He comes to house, no talking. People say, what happened? Illness, this thing, that. But he just quiet. Until people think something must happen to him. We have to treat him. They got a doctor for him. Then when it becomes so much, he said to them, you people are stupid. Do you think with the tongue with which I spoke with the white man, I'm going to talk with you people? So after talking with the white person, I'm going to talk with you people. So this is how we are really. This man talks with messengers, talks with a ambassador of Allah, talks with angel, but at the same time so humble. The one thing you have to learn from it, I want to teach this thing, because this actually, if one learns this one thing from the Prophet, it really will change the world. We people have been living in India for a long time. We never been concerned really to teach people what this messenger was. We only ask in India people our rights. Think really, the Prophet asked people in Makkah his rights. Bread, roti and khana, and ghar, makan, there are roti makan. This was his demand. Ask people to give me food. That's what he did. If he used to accept to be hungry to feed the people. Think really what happened. What is missing from us really? India is such a great country, and the people there really love their religion. Hindu people by nature they love their religion, but we have made them our enemy. The reason is because we basically made them a different nation. We never thought that these people, they're human. They need this message. We should be nice to them, should be humble to them. Always arrogance, always thinking they're different people, always hating them. Hatred, it does not benefit the Prophet, the pure mind, pure humility. He talks with the angels, but what actually amazing thing in life really is, such chosen person, last messenger, seal of all the prophets. No prophet after him, and Quran mentions that his sins are forgiven. Excuse me. But this man, what actually you life, he knows his limits. Amazing thing in the life of the person, he knows his limits. He never exceeds the limit. Never. So humble. He never cuts. Actually, even the narrators say, even an old woman in Madinah Munawwara could stop him to talk with him, and he will stop. People who narrate his biography, they say, if you talk to the Prophet ﷺ, he will not turn from you until you turn. Until you turn from him, he will not turn. He will actually be there. He's not thinking that, I am so important and I am so busy. How can I talk with this ordinary person? Amazing. Until in every single thing, this humility is there. Once the Prophet ﷺ sitting in house of Aisha anha, he had 9 wives, turning from one house to other house. He even does not have his own house. Basically, he had no house. It's a house of wives. From one house every day to go to the other house. No place actually to live. Once he was in the house of Aisha anha, and he got a guest. And then nothing to feed. Then another wife of the Prophet ﷺ, she found out that there are guests in the house of the Prophet ﷺ, and she had some food. She sent the food in a plate. When the food came in the plate to the house of Aisha anha, Aisha anha, like anybody, jealousy can come. She becomes jealous that in her house, food is coming from the house of another wife. She came in anger and she hit the plate. When she hit the plate, the food fell down and the plate was broken. Now think really, if your wife insults you in front of your guest, what will happen? Tell me. You become so angry, what will happen really? Mad, actually we ourselves break our plate anyway. Everybody when they become angry, they break the plate and this and that. Now tell me, the Prophet ﷺ, according to us, has been insulted in front of the guest by his wife. She comes and hits the plate and breaks the plate. Now think really, this amazing man, what he does. He simply, what said to the people, your mother is angry. Because Aisha is Ummul Mu'minin, mother of the believers, she is angry. And then what he does, collects the food. Whatever has been dry food, he collects it. And he cleans it, put again for eating. So that he does. For himself, he did not take revenge. But the plate does not belong to the Prophet ﷺ. Whose plate is this? Somebody else. For the plate, he cannot forgive. For the plate, he said to Aisha, "Oh Aisha, you have to give a plate in compensation." For himself, he accepted everything. No revenge, no anger, collecting the food. He even did not ask Aisha, "Oh, you come and collect the food because you want the food." No, he did himself in front of all the people. Think really, do we have something like that? Do we really do like that? When we travel, in the trains, if the actually toilet in the train is dirty, we don't use it. Somebody else cleans, then we can use it. Did we really ever thought really, let me clean so people can use it? We serve the people. If you learn in India one thing really, you can see the people will love you. Learn how to give to the people. Learn how to be soft to the people. How to give the people. People love you. I remember a story from Central Asia. You people must have learned. You living in Oman, so you must have learned in Arabic literature a name of certain character. Like in India, you have got Sheikh Chilli. So everybody knows about Sheikh Chilli. So Arab people have got Juha. So one of their characters, Juha. It's very famous, and especially in Egypt, they have got so many stories of Juha. Juha basically is from the name Khoja Nasruddin. Khoja Nasruddin was an amazing character in Central Asia. This Khoja became in Arabic Juha, and this Juha came to Italian, and Italy people called it Jocha. And then Jocha came in English language, became Joker. So Joker basically from Juha, from Khoja Nasruddin. There was Joker means in English language. So Khoja Nasruddin, an amazing person. In his town, every problem comes, he solved the problem. So there was a man in his town, he fell down in the water, and he was drowning. And now drowning, and people come to him and ask him, give your hand. So we save you, give your hand, and we save you. But he's holding his hand like that, not giving the hand. Then people become, they don't know how to save him. He's now going to die. So they asked Khoja Nasruddin, because he's the one who solved all the problem. So Khoja Nasruddin came, and he said to the man, "Take my hand." And then he took the hand of Khoja Nasruddin, and he pulled him, and now he said, the people said to him, "What happened? We came, and he did not give his hand. You came, and he gave." He said, "Reason is because you people asked him to give the hand. He never knows to give. I said to take." Then he took it. Learn in this world actually, if you give to the people, then they love you. If you take from them, nobody loves you. That was the messengers. Messengers don't take from the people, they give to the people. You are messengers. Think really, in India all the time we keep talking our rights in employment and this thing and that thing really. Indian people got fed up. Nobody will, if your son in your house all the time keep demanding from you, you'll be fed up of him. Nobody will love you. But if your son actually makes contribution all the time, no, father, don't worry about me. I can live without food. You love him. If Muslims in India can demonstrate one thing really, that they love their neighbors, love the people there, become humble, and learn how to give them, you will see the whole people are human. People have a human heart. They will love you. But they always see you are in troublemaker. Everything for all the time. So who's going to love you? Learn from the Prophet. Amazing man. His wives love him. If you have got 2 wives, they will fight you. Even 1 wife fights us anyway. So 2 wives, 9 wives, they love him. And there's so much love, actually, that once the Quran was revealed, that, "O Prophet Muhammad," because there's a certain issue, I don't want to go in detail, the Quran commands the Prophet, "Tell your wives, if they want to stay with you, they can stay. If they want to leave you, let them leave you and give them some food and some money." So he kept his wives and gave them choice. Whether you want to stay with me with poverty. If you want to leave me, take money and leave me. He wanted to give this choice. He came with this verse of the Quran, of the Takhir. It's the ayat al-Takhir, allowing people to choose. He came first to Aisha anha and said to Aisha, "Oh Aisha, this has been revealed to me that I have got, you have got choice." And the Prophet was scared that Aisha's young girl, she does not know much, maybe she leaves me and leaves me, it will be a loss for her. So he said to Aisha, this is the verse, but don't decide anything. Go and consult your parent. Because he knew that her parent will never allow her to leave the Prophet. So she is an amazing woman, intellect, one of the most intelligent women in the history of mankind. She said to the Prophet, "Afika astashiru abawayya." Oh Allah, my son, about you, I am going to consult my parent. Ikhtartullah wa rasulahu. I have chosen Allah and his messenger. Now she is thinking, now the Prophet will go to other wives, and other wives will ask the Prophet what Aisha has said. And he will say my answer, they will repeat the same thing. So she does not want that. So she said to the Prophet, when you go to other wives, if they ask you what I said, don't tell them. So the Prophet said, "Oh Aisha, I have been sent as a teacher, mualliman. And I've been sent to make things easier for the people. If they ask me, I will tell them. I am teacher. I'm to make these things easier for the people. And he came to other wife, second wife. She asked him what Aisha said. And he said, Aisha has chosen Allah his messenger. Then all of them followed Aisha. Amazing person. All his wives, they loved him. Why they love him? In our time, I consider really, if many people's wives, they have choice. Actually, in England, there's so many cases of khola and this thing and first. People want, many women, they want to leave their husband because so much problem really. People marry within 1 month, the women become tired of them. The thing really. This man, 9 wives, and poverty, no food. If the money comes, he gives to other people. Nothing there. But his wives love him so much because this man really knew his limit. So humble to the people. Aisha narrates that the Prophet ﷺ, once he was going to a battlefield, and I was just very young. So the Prophet said to me, "Oh Aisha, let's have a race." So a race happened in the field where everybody can see. And the Prophet is around 55-year-old, and Aisha is just teenager. Man of 55-year-old having a race with young girl who's a teenager in public in front of the people. Can you imagine like that? But the Prophet had race. Race was not happening in the house. His house is so small. There's no race in the house. Race happening in public. And see how he wants to please the wife. Think really. Do we do like that? Aisha's young girl, he wants to treat her like a young, wants to make her happy. So he made race. But the Prophet actually had put on some weight. Because he's now 55-year-old. So he's not as fast as Aisha. And Aisha's teenager, thin. So she's faster. So she said when race happened, and we went running, the Prophet was beaten, and I won the race. So the Prophet felt that he has lost the race. Next time he had been thinking, when Aisha put some weight, then I do again. He kept waiting for that moment, and next time Aisha also put some weight. Then he asked her, let's have another race. And they had after a while another race. This time the Prophet won. And Aisha lost the race. She said, I got some weight, so I lost the race. Then the Prophet said to Aisha, Hadihi betilka. This one is for that one. Last time you won, this time I won. Tell me really, this man who talks with, this Indian farmer talked with a white man, could not talk to anybody else. This man talks with the angels. He talks with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, went to Mi'raj. He has race with his wife. He has time for that. Do you have time for this thing? Even people actually don't have time. One of my students said that I was walking in Leicester holding the hand of my wife. So some ulama said to me, it's not good in public to hold the hand of your wife. So he asked me, did I like that? I said, no, who said like that? Whose hand you will hold in the public other than your wife? That's what I should do anyway. That's what people should do. People have no idea what this religion is. The Prophet is doing a race with Aisha in public. And then another story, similar to that, hadith in Sahih Muslim and other books of the hadith. The Prophet was hungry for a few days. Same his wives, in our time, what happened many times, I find it so ugly. Many men, what they do, they go with their friends for eating outside. And they leave behind their wives and children. It's not right way really. You have to think they also deserve. Take them with you. This very bad manner. The Prophet was hungry, same his wives. And one of his neighbor, he was a tailor. Khayyat, hadith said, tailor. He made nice curry. Some food, but it was little food. He came to the Prophet and he said, "Oh Allah the Messenger, can you have dinner with me?" So Allah the Messenger said, "Wahadihi." This one, my wife Aisha as well. He was thinking, if this food is only enough for the Prophet, if Aisha goes, the Prophet cannot eat properly. So he said no. So the Prophet said, then no, then I cannot come. He left. Then he came again. He said, "Oh Allah the Messenger, can you come for the food?" Allah the Messenger said, "Wahadi," this one as well. And he said, no. The Prophet said, then no. Then he left again. Third time he came and he said, "Oh Allah the Messenger, can you come have food with me?" The Prophet said, "Wahadi," this one as well. He said, yes, this one as well. People think, is he greedy messenger? He's not a greedy messenger. He cannot accept that he goes and eat and his wife is hungry. It's impossible for him. How can he eat? His heart is so pure and clean. He goes and eat and his wife is hungry. How can he do this? Impossible for him. He can accept not to eat, but he cannot accept to eat himself and leave his wife. It's impossible for him. And then Anas who narrates the hadith, Anas was always with the person. Anas narrates when the Prophet and Aisha, both of them left the house, they are so happy for the food. In the street, they are pushing each other in happiness. The Prophet pushing Aisha and Aisha is pushing the Prophet. Think really. This real life, pure life, humble man. This knowing his limit. Like human, pure human. Do we have something like that? And then actually more than that, I just want to emphasize this character of Prophet, this humility, this knowing the limits is God. And one amazing story from the seerah of the Prophet really, you want to learn about seerah, this is what we need to learn really, real thing that we need to follow him. When the people accuse Aisha anha about that sin, which never did, pure woman, but somehow rumor spread in Medina, about Aisha anha that she has done, adultery, na'udhu billah min zalik, zina. It's a very, very, very severe accusation. Really very, very bad. But Aisha anha, she did not know. She was in her house, had no idea. And she said, the Prophet used to come to house, but I did not feel from him the same love and affection which he had before. But I did not realize what the problem is. Anyway, after a while, she found out. When she found out, long story, I'm just summarizing it, because it's one of the longest hadiths in Sahih Bukhari and other books of the hadith, and narrated by Aisha, very eloquent language really, very eloquent. Aisha is very, very eloquent narrator, has language amazing. That's why Amr ibn As said, I never have seen anybody so eloquent as Aisha, except the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Very eloquent expression. So this story, her so nice. So I just summarized the story. Aisha said, when I found out this rumor, so I was not sure really, this happened against me. I wanted to make sure this really is there. So I asked the Prophet ﷺ, can I go and see my parent? So he said, yeah, you can go and see your parent. I said I came to my house, I asked my mother, is it true what people talk about me? So she said, listen, oh my daughter, whenever any beautiful girl who has many other wives, she becomes nearer to her husband, something like that happens. So she said, did really people say something like that? Then she becomes so upset. She said, I started crying like anything. And the tears did not stop my eye. All the time tears, one day and night, just keep weeping. Pure woman accused of this thing, how can you live? This becomes such a bad thing for the whole family. She's crying and crying. Her parents are sitting next to her. And she said, while then another woman from Ansar, she came and she also started crying like us. She said, when we were sitting there, the Prophet ﷺ came. And he said, and then he said, oh Aisha, if you have done, this sin, then repent to Allah, He will forgive. That His messenger, he also has pain. His wife has been accused, he certainly has pain. But he's the teacher, he does not know, he has no revelation, he does not know what happened. He said, oh Aisha, if this is true what will accuse you, then repent, Allah will forgive you. Aisha said, I asked my father, oh my father, answer the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr Siddiq, how can he answer? Abu Bakr Siddiq said, I don't know how to answer the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then she said, I asked my mother, oh mom, you answer the Prophet. She said, I don't know how to answer. Aisha said, I was younger, knew very little Quran, nothing much. So I said, okay, I'll answer myself. And then she said, you people, if I said to you that I have not done this crime, and Allah knows I never have done this, you will never believe. And if I said to you that I have done this crime, and Allah knows I never have done, you will believe in me. I don't find any example for me and for you, except example of the father of Yusuf. She said, out of grief, I forgot the name of Yaqub alayhi salam. So I said the father of Yusuf alayhi salam. And when Yusuf Yaqub alayhi salam said, فَصَبْرٌ jameel. Pure, clean, nice patient, nice sabr, just sabr. She said nobody left the house. I turned my face from the Prophet ﷺ. Nobody left the house. And it happened to the Prophet ﷺ what used to happen to him when revelation used to come to him. Same I think people could see so waiting. And after a while, when revelation finished, he became so happy, face is shining. And he said, oh Aisha, now your purity has been revealed to me from above the seven heaven. And he read the verses of purity from Surah An-Nur. Amazing verses of the Quran, no doubt really they reveal. Everybody, the whole house becomes so happy. So now certainly, people will ask her Aisha to thank the Prophet ﷺ. Then her mother asked, oh Aisha, qumi ilayhim. Stand to the Prophet and thank him. She said, no, I am going to thank my Lord. And she did sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just think, and the Prophet never minded, because the Prophet came to this world to connect people with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows his limits really. He never have been upset. This is what we need to learn really. This pure heart, pure mind, humility, being humble, nice person. When people love him so much, That's what we need really. We need in this world that, the message of the love. In India and South India, I forgot the name, there was one of the Sufi preacher, he knew, I think, around 16 or so many languages, and, so many, he was very good in the language. The people asked him that among all the languages that you know, which one is the best one, in all the languages that you have learned. He said, among all the languages that I have learned, the language of the love is the best. There is no language equal to the language of love. If you love the people, they never can hate you. Now we people actually complain, Muslims complain everywhere that the whole world hates us. Anywhere you go, people hate you. It is so easy to change. Love the people, people will love you. Simple. Give to the people, people love you. People actually, certainly, we complain that people listen to the media and newspaper, so many things. But first place where people learn actually is directly from the people. The real academy which teaches the people is, direct the people. If you have a neighbor, Hindu neighbor, Christian neighbor, be nice to him, look after him, fulfill his needs. He will never learn from media. He will say, no, I have got a Muslim friend, so nice, I'm not going to listen to anything. I know who my friend is. People learn actually directly. People don't learn from media. People learn from media when you don't teach them. Learn how to be, all the time just celebration. Miladun Nabi. Even Miladun Nabi has become, problem in India and everywhere. Because the way you celebrate is not going to make people hard. We don't teach people how the Prophet was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the name of the Prophet, we're killing the people. Somebody writes a book and insult the Prophet, we kill the person. This is the message. The Prophet has been insulted in Makkah al-Mukarramah so much. But he answered everything with the love. The same people who insulted him, they became his follower. There was poet in Makkah al-Mukarramah from Banu Hashim. He used to write long poetry against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the Prophet so sought for him, he became Muslim. And in Battle of Hunain, he is the one who defended the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam so much. Everybody left, but he's there. That's how the Prophet has been. Loving the people. Umar Khattab radiallahu anhu leaves his house with the sword. And he says that it got too much in Makkah al-Mukarramah. This man has appeared, separating between the men and his wife and this and that. I want to kill him. One of the person from his family, Nuaym, he meets him. He said, Umar, where are you going? He said, I want to kill Muhammad. It is too much now. I want to kill him. He says, go and see your sister and her husband. They become Muslim. And he becomes so angry. He comes there and all those beating them and this and that, and they humble. And then after that, he asked them, show me the scripture, the papers that you're reading. And they showed him, it's Surah Taha, and he read, he changed. Man with the sword leaving the house to kill the Muhammad. And then he asked them, where Muhammad now? They say in the house of Al-Arqam ibn Al-Arqam. He come to the house, knocked the door, and people see from the window that Umar has got a sword. People become scared. And Hamza said, no, let him come. If he comes with the true intention, we'll respect him. But if he comes with the bad intention, we will kill him with his own sword. And then we enters into the room, and the Prophet holds Umar. For how long you keep opposing this message? He said, oh Allah, the messenger, I have come to believe in you. And then he accepts Islam. Think really, this religion came to win the heart of the people. Now the people of the religion are complaining in such a big number. They complain that people hate you. They hate you because you don't know your value. You don't know really what you have got. You don't know the message. Think properly. This message you have got and people hate you. The reason is because you want people to respect you. You are not sincere for the people. Think really, Allah has sent you for the people. Did not send you for yourself. Your message should be, oh my neighbor, Hindu, Christian, non-Muslim, oh my neighbor, if I have got 2 bread and you need, you can take 1. It is possible that I remain hungry, but I want you to eat. Oh my neighbor, it's impossible that your sisters, your daughters are disrespected. If you are not at home, we'll protect them. We'll look after their honor. If your property has any harm, we'll sacrifice our life for yourself. That's what we need to do. Muslims need to help people. Muslims need to come to save the people. You have to save the people from the hellfire. You to be true messenger. Learn how to give to the people. Learn how to respect them. Learn how to love them. And as Iqbal said, Muhabbat Fatih Alam. If you love the people, they never can hate you. If they hate you, it's a true sign that you are not a messenger. Messenger should be loved. Messenger should teach you how to love the people. And if you love the people, give the message, your Lord will support you. Your Lord will help you. And if Allah helps you, then nobody can harm you. Nobody can fight. People can fight you, but they never can fight your Lord. But at the moment, your Lord is not with you. Allah is not with you. If Allah is not with you, you will have trouble at the hand of the Christians, Jews, Hindus. If nobody is there, you will have trouble from your own brothers. Like Arab people in the past, they used to fight everybody. And you know, sometimes one of the poets said, وَحَيَانًا عَلَى بَكْرٍ أَخِينَا إِذَا مَا لَمْ نَجِدْ إِلَّا أَخَانَا. We have to fight. If we don't have anybody, fight our own brothers. They used to fight. That we Muslims have become really like pure jahiliyyah, pure ignorance. You know, the Prophet have made so clear, don't fight each other, but we are killing each other. Tell me, how can people learn this? If you tell people Islam has come to save you, they will think, how, what are you saying? You can't save your own brothers, you're going to save us. If Islam has come to give love, you don't love your own brothers. You have got Shia, Sunni, so many sects and so many groups. You don't love your own brothers. Don't save them from hellfire. How can you save us? Nobody is going to believe in you because your actions are so different, not pure. Learn from this messenger. Don't make celebration. Don't make Miladul Nabi. This is not going to help you. What you need to learn actually is learn from this man how to worship your Lord. Learn from him how to do ibadah. Learn from him how to teach the people ibadah. Learn from him how to love the people. Learn from him how to save people from the hellfire. Learn from him that how to give people the paradise. You know, we people have become so much in this world. Just all the time keep asking people, give me, give me, give me. Never learn how to give the people. Never learn how to respect the people. Never learn how to honor them. People say, you know, the people come like in England. There are certain group, you know, of Christians actually, English Defense League. You know, people have so much things about them that they hate Muslims. I said to some of my students, don't worry if they come to, you know, in any procession, any group, you know, against you. Don't worry. Invite them to the mosque. Give them biryani. Give them food. Be respect them. Finish nothing. And some people actually did this thing. Nothing. Once you give people food or something, they don't go fight you. Your enemy, if you feed him, you know, one of my friend from India, you know, from Jaunpur, he was complaining that in London, in the house, you know, whenever he makes food, the neighbors are English, they complain, bad smell. I said, certainly they have to complain to you because they only get from your house the smell. Give them the food, they will love you. If they only get a smell from you, they will hate you. Once they get your food, they will love you. Give the people food, give real, share with the people, respect them, be humble. You will see really, the world will change really. It's in our hand really. You can change yourself. Nobody. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said actually, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. The change that happened, if people actually hate us, we are responsible, not Allah. Don't blame Allah. Don't accuse him. If people hate you, you are responsible. If people actually don't trust you, you are responsible. Because your messenger was a messenger, even his enemies used to trust in him. If people think you are a liar, you are responsible. Nobody else, no media, no Islamophobia, all the time. You are responsible. You can change your image. It is up to you really. Come to Iman, come to Hanafiya. Turn your face from everything to your Lord. Worship him, surrender to him. Full submission with humility. Know your limits. Respect the people, they respect you. Love them, they will love you. Fulfill their needs, they will fulfill your need. You know, they will sacrifice their life for you. This is what you need to learn from this message. That's why Quran actually said, Noon wal qalami ma yasturun ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika majnoon wa inna laka la ajran ghayra mamnoon wa innaka la ala khuluqin azim. O messenger, you are on great character. Allah praise him, you are on great character. And I said to the people, the Quran never can a book of da'wah except with the hand of a man of great character. We need both. We need Quran and people of great character. If you have Quran and nobody has this character, Quran never can make change. Quran does not change people. What changes people is Quran in the hand of the man with great character. Now we Muslims have got Quran, but we don't have this great khuluq azim. If you don't have khuluq azim, great character, nobody is going to follow the Quran. If people don't listen to the Quran, we are responsible. You know, change your life really. Change yourself. Have this good character. Be humble. Love the people. You will see inshallah the world change. I am now stopping with the time coming nearer. And if you have any questions, please ask.
Question, please. The mic is not working.
Should I pass the mic?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't work, but you can. Yeah. There is another mic there.
Maybe this one.
Yeah, please ask a question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, for your enlightening lecture. My question is, Alhamdulillah, good points you have covered. As you have mentioned biryani, that if you offer biryani to your enemy, he will become your friend. Maybe partially it is correct. My question is, why the huge difference in the seerah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Meccan period and Medina period? He was having the same Quran in Mecca, same character in the Mecca, but why so less amount of people accepted Islam in Mecca? And in 13 years, very less amount of people accepted Islam in Meccan period. And in a period of 10 years of Medina, why so huge number of people have accepted Islam? I just want your comment on this.
You know, this is actually very important question. And people actually, that I'm thinking, people need to think about the seerah, about the space line. It's very important to learn really, that what happening in the country when the Prophet Makkah al-Mukarramah, a small number of the people. When he moves to Medina, more space, more people, and actually last 2 years, you know, hundreds, thousands people are coming really. You know, within last 2 years, country, you know, when he came to conquer Makkah al-Mukarramah, 10,000 people. But after 2 years, when he came for Hajj al-Wada, you know, more than 100,000 people are around him in Hajj. So certainly this really changed. That's what Quran has answered very clearly. You know, as I mentioned in the morning, Islam really is thinking, in Iman, thinking, understanding, then you believe, and then after that, full submission. That's what actually Quran is training in Makkah al-Mukarramah all the time. You know, if you look the surahs which have been revealed in Makkah al-Mukarramah, all about hellfire, paradise, the day hereafter, thinking, the universe, look around you, think, all the time think, understanding, pure Hanifiyya, pure Iman, pure Islam, which actually make people like Abu Siddiq, Umar al-Faruq, Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, Abdul Rahman bin Auf, all the 10 people who got the good tidings of paradise, all from Makkah al-Mukarramah, all from Muhajirin, you know, Sa'd bin Waqqas radiyallahu anhu, and all the great people. Then after the when Prophet ﷺ moves in Madinah Munawwara, in the beginning they're suffering, less people. But when Islam, when becoming Muslim becomes easier for the people, when becoming like fashion, everybody is converting. Now my tribe become Muslim, I also want to become Muslim. That a time really when Islam is not coming as a result of Hanifiyya thinking. Islam is coming as a result of belonging. And I mentioned in the morning very clearly that 2 types of Islam. Islam are full submission. That Islam only comes after Iman. And that Iman comes after Hanifiyya, after thinking, after understanding, and then full submission. Then other Islam, that Islam comes by belonging. Meaning I belong to a family, they are Muslim, so I am Muslim. I born in a family, they are Muslim, and they named my name Mohammed, I became also Muslim. I belong to a tribe, and my tribe, you know, like one of the Arab persons, هل أنا إلا من غزية إن غوت غزية غويت وإن غوت وإن ترشد غزية أرشدي. I from Ghaziyya, my tribe is Ghaziyya. If Ghaziyya, they are misguided, I am misguided. If they are on the right path, I become on the right path, I follow my tribe. So when the people, you know, when Makkah al-Mukarramah is conquered, Quran says, you know, وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. Now groups and groups, people coming from all over Arabia, and they actually accepting Islam. These people, when they become Muslim, you know, many Arab Bedouin, they say, قَالَتِ الْأَعْرَابُ آمَنَّا. Arab Bedouin come to you, they say, we are believers. قُلْ لَمْ تُؤْمِنُوا. Tell no, you are not believers. Iman has not entered your heart. You have to say, we belong to Islam. You know, and that I consider when after the death of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr became Khalifa, people who left Islam and they became murtad, apostate, and people who refused to pay zakat, most of them are from this period. They are the people, because Islam was not deep there, Iman was not deep there, it was belonging. So when actually power comes, state comes, when you people can see their quality decreases, number increases, quantity increases. That you can see all the Ashara Mubashara, none of them are from Medina. All of them are from Makkah al-Mukarramah, Abu Bakr Siddiq, Umar al-Faruq, Uthman, Ali, Abu Ubaidah, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Zubair ibn Awam, Talha ibn Ubaidillah, Sa'd ibn Waqqas, Sa'id ibn Amr ibn Rufai. All these 10 people, all of them from Makkah al-Mukarramah. And Quran said, the people, you know, who spend money in the path of Allah before the conquest of Makkah, those who spend after that, both never can be equal. It is impossible. Belonging to Islam and real Islam, both never can be the same. For example, I tell you, now in our time, sometimes being a Muslim with beard and all those things, so difficult. So difficult for the people, not easy. But sometimes could be when Muslims have power and state and Islam and everywhere, it becomes fashion. Actually, in early 7th century, when Islam was just new and Muslims conquered Spain, during that time, if you look actually, there are actually in the museum in England some coins of British coin from that period, 7th century, very early. And the coin is written in Arabic language. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. It is written in Arabic language. Because Muslims had power, their trade was in their hand, to even non-Muslims, they would like to make their coins similar to the coins of Muslims. Though on the other side, there is actually picture, name of the king, English king. But on one side, there is, Muslim statement. Reason is because it has become fashion. So that's a very important question really. We have to learn that, learn actually, first thing, that's what I'm thinking, people should, if you want to learn Islam, start reading those surahs which have been revealed in Makkah Mukarramah. You will see really, it is surahs changes your heart, changes your mind. It really makes you think, pure believer. And these are the people really, no doubt, certainly, they are the people who Quran says, Sabiqun al-awwalun min al-muhajirin wal-ansar. Early muhajirin and ansar, early people. Those who become Muslim in the time of suffering. Those who become later Muslim, you can see really, among them, there are those people who came to kill Uthman radiallahu anhu. All that, many of these events actually happen by those people who became Muslim very late because they want position by Islam, they want money by Islam. Islam became money, Islam became position. So certainly no doubt, that's why you have to learn really the space, seerah the Prophet. When the Prophet was in Makkah al-Mukarramah, how he was, how his companions were, what actually made them so amazing, changed the world, what make Abu Bakr Siddiq as Abu Bakr Siddiq. When actually Islam is spread, you don't have the same quality. The quality that you actually have from this early Muhajirin, you don't have later on. Reason is, they have Hanifiyya, Iman, then Islam. And later on, Islam of belonging, and sometimes there is no Iman, no thinking. Another question?
When Jibreel, he came to our Prophet, did he held some book, in front of him and tell to read, or?
Where? In the cave of Hira?
Yeah, in the cave.
No, I mentioned, in the beginning, that the angel is saying to him, Iqra. Though actually people in Tafsir have many of those stories, none of them are authentic. The real story in Sahih Bukhari and other books is that there was no book, nothing in his hand. Angel is simply saying to him, Iqra. Only one word, Iqra, read. The Prophet think, he asked him to read, and he does not know how to read. So he simply thinks, Ma ana biqari. Then angel asks him again, third time, and then angel reads these verses, and he reads. Then he knows later on the meaning. Meaning is, read these verses in the prayer. And then that's why he learns how to pray. That's why the surah comes after that, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يَنْهَى عَبْدًا إِذَا صَلَّى. So the prayer comes. That's why at the end of the surah comes, فَاسْجُدْ وَقْتَرِبْ. Do sajda and come nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sajda, prayer came to make the people nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I read the verse of sajda, so everybody had to do sajda. You get a more reward. One sajda, actually nothing has value of sajda. If you do one sajda, how great it is, you have no idea really. When people put their forehead in front of the Lord, the value of sajda, nothing in the universe actually of that world. Whole universe never can be even equal to one sajda. One sajda has much more weight than anything else. You really are, when you're in sajda, you are in the arm of your Lord. As a child, a baby in the arm of the mother, sajda is like that. Feel that, you are bowing to your Lord and full submission to Him. So that Iqra was command of the prayer, not reading, prayer, reading the Quran in the prayer. That was the command.
I read some news regarding the traces of Quran being found in the University of Birmingham.
Yeah.
They said that they did some research on that, and they found that these were the oldest traces which can be traced to the oldest manuscript of Quran. So, do we have our oldest manuscripts of Quran? Where is the initial Quran which was compiled in the time of Hazrat Abu Bakr? Where is those traces? Why can't we show them that this is the oldest trace? You can do the research and you can really find that this is from that time period.
It is a very, very important question about the Quran and about how the Quran has been put together, and this copy in Birmingham and there's some copies in Sana'a in Yemen and other copies. And I know that it needs a little bit more detailed answer, and certainly I want to answer this question and not tomorrow, but on Saturday I'm teaching about Quran. and about Fatiha. Inshallah, I'll come in the beginning. I'll actually teach properly the history of the Quran, comparison of the Quran, and these different copies in the library, and what happened to the copy of Bakr Siddiq and the copy of Uthman anhu, what happened to them. And certainly, I will go to many of those things when people agree. I always make comment that Muslims say that Quran never changed, and we've got 7 readings and this reading and 10 readings and the difference, all those things. So inshallah, if I have time, I will do that on Saturday, inshallah, to wait for that moment.
On this point, the Islamic Information Center organized a workshop on this concept, compilation of the Quran, how it was compiled, and there is a CD of one presentation which is available, and it can be made available, inshallah. It is about hadith, how the hadith were compiled, the seerah, and Shaykh, mashallah, gave a very good example between the difference between seerah and sunnah, and how the hadith was compiled. So there's a presentation on that, and there is a presentation on Quran also, how it was compiled. But to answer the question, just very briefly, it's not the first time now Birmingham University to come up with this. It actually happened in Yemen long ago, and this is also touched in that presentation. Some white people from Germany, actually Germans, they went to, because the Prophet ﷺ, when he sent Mu'adh bin Jabal radiallahu anhu to Yemen, and then he taught people in Yemen. So they said, let's go and investigate in that masjid, which is masjid today, or an area where he stayed and worshipped Sayyidina Mu'adh. And they started digging. And then they came up with something like that, which they used carbon dating. And then they said this was something, but it was slightly different from the original Quran which we actually have today. So what we have today is the same Quran which we had. So nobody should have any doubt. It was found, and the government of the Yemen, expelled them away, and they asked them to go back home. Similar thing is more or less repeating in Birmingham. That's why Allah knows why they could not even go further than that. Initially, if you remember, they say they will announce it in October. It was found in July, and they say they will announce it in October, but it never happened. These are Allahu Alam what. But what we have to have Muslims, that what Quran we have today is authentic. Exactly, the Quran from Sayyidina Uthman, how it was, that's what we call Uthman Quran. This is the most important message we have to share to all ourselves and every Muslim, that our Quran is intact, is authentic, is the same, there's no change whatsoever. Whoever comes with something different will be rejected. Wallahu a'lam. Sheikh, sorry.
Assalamu
alaikum. Sir, can you tell me the difference between Deen Islam and Deen Hanafi? Is the same thing?
Difference between what?
Deen Islam and Deen Hanafi. Is this the same thing, or is some specific difference with the word?
Difference between Hanif?
Hanafi and Islam.
Hanafi and Islam?
No, Deen Hanafi.
Hanafi
No, not Muslim.
I don't know Deen Hanif, but what actually in the morning I explained properly what Hanif means and how Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is the one who Quran mentioned in Surah Al-Mumtahana, his example of the believers. In the Iman, Ibrahim is the example, and in Islam he is also the example, and he is the one who have chosen the name of Islam for the people. And Quran explains the meaning of Iman Islam in the light of the life of Ibrahim, and also many prophet messenger. And the Iman was based on Hanifiyya, meaning turning away from everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves this Hanifiyya from Ibrahim so much that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ثُمَّ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ أَنِ اتَّبِعِ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا. Then we commanded you that you must follow the millah of Ibrahim, the way of Ibrahim, because Ibrahim was Hanif. So certainly the Hanifiyya is part of the millah of Ibrahim. And this Hanifiyya is so much loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wants every believer to think and to understand and to turn away from everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what Iman means. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the hadith says, كَانَ إِذَا فَزِعَ whenever حَذَبُهُ أَمْرٌ فَزِعَ عَلَى الصَّلَاةِ. For everything, he will turn to the prayer. So that Hanafi certainly required by the people. Any other question?
My question, only I need the clarification. brother said that if I take like to biryani, we are giving biryani and our oil and our minds and our lands and many things to non-believer, means European and other. And in return, what they are giving to us, you know very well. Okay, day by day, they are destroying our areas, our lands, our peoples. Okay, so what I believe something is missing here in this statement when we are offering the biryani. We forget that we need to protect the right of our Muslim brothers also at the same time. Because I'm not a scholar and not having a lot of knowledge, but I know Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was strict with the non-believer also, and Rahman being very kind with the Mu'min also. So that is very important that we have missed. If Muslims are suffering anywhere, we are not having any plan, strategy to protect them also. I need your comment on it. Thank you.
You know, the thing really is, for around 200 years, people have been bringing this idea to fight, to take the rights, and how can Muslims suffer and help and support and this and that. Every time we make this effort, we lose more. For 200 years, Muslims have made so much sacrifices that Muslims never made such huge sacrifice any time in the history. So many lives have been wasted, so many people have been killed, so many properties have been taken. So think really, there must be something wrong in the way we are doing it. You know, that's why I mentioned this line, a straight line. In life of every single person, there are stages. Sometime you made compromise. Sometime you need really that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants first thing Allah wants is the hujjah becomes complete against the people. Think really, did we make hujjah complete against the people? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will throw the unbelievers in the hellfire. When He will throw them? When Muslims have taught them properly and still they don't believe. But actually people don't know this religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants Muslims to go and make sacrifices and make very clear to give the message. There are millions of people, they never have received message. I remember actually one story, one of my teachers, he mentioned, this story, that he said he was in Jeddah. In Jeddah, there was a new Muslim, American Muslim. He became Muslim, new person, and people invited him to give a talk. So this American Muslim to give a talk, and he was speaking English. So my teacher, he knew English, so they asked him to translate from English into Arabic. So he said, okay, I'll translate. This American Muslim said to my teacher, these Arabs, they don't want to listen what I'm going to say. And you don't change my words because of them. Translate my words exactly as it is. So first thing he said, oh my cruel brothers, which in Arabic language is, Ya ikhwani al-zalimin. So my teacher said, I change it a little bit, make it softer. So he said, no, don't change it. Just say like that, oh my cruel brothers, ikhwani al-zalimin. And then he said, listen this thing really, we people in the West, whenever we have something, we export it to you. We invented cars, aeroplanes, so many things. Whatever we made, we did not keep. We gave to the people, we got money, but we did not keep to ourselves, everywhere in the world. You people have got this precious religion, which saves people from the hellfire. In the day of judgment, Allah will throw my parents and my ancestors and my grandparents into hellfire. I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first through these Muslims. They never came to my father. They came to us to take from us the cars, aeroplanes, computers. They came to us to take business from us. They came to learn from many things from us. But they never came to teach us this precious religion. First thing is make the proof complete. When the proof is complete, actually the life of every messenger in the Quran, the three stages. The first stage is da'wah, then hijrah, then jihad. First thing da'wah, actually we never leave that. We Muslims ourselves really did not follow this religion. Leave that. And in the day of judgment, it is not enough that you are Muslim. And it is not, Quran says that it is not enough that you say La ilaha illallah. People need to obey. People need to have full submission. If people don't have that, they cannot answer the questions from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to follow this religion and we need to teach this religion to everybody. The Prophet ﷺ used to go to every house more than once, many times. Patience, sabr, and if passing by his followers, Ammar ibn Yasir, his father Yasir, and and Ammar's mother Sumayya, suffering and on the stones, they have so much problems. And when he passes by them, he says, Sabran ya Yasir, fa inna ma'adakum jannah. Oh family of Yasir, be patient. Don't worry, be patient. You're probably the paradise. This is how the message has been. We never made proof. People really don't know this message. People never have learned really. People have learned from us so many things, but they never learn from us that their salvation depends on the ibadah of Allah. They will never learn really their hellfire. We Muslims never teach people the hellfire. We actually are shy to tell people their hellfire. And I'm certainly no doubt in this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is nothing more dangerous, nothing more frightening for the humanity than the hellfire. Anything in this world, actually, it is so easy. Any punishment can be easier, but no punishment more severe than the hellfire. We don't tell people what hellfire means. And the Quran actually keeps saying that وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا سَقَرْ. Do you know what hellfire means? Quran keeps saying, how frightening it is. Quran says when people throw in the hellfire, what will happen to them? Quran says we will change their skins and they will never لَا يَمُوتُونَ فِيهَا. They will never die there. No life, no death. It is so suffering. All the time burning and burning and burning and burning. Warners came, the Quran messengers came to warn the people, to alert the people. Are we warner? Do we alert people, to tell people? To their story in India, a Sikh in Delhi, he asked a Muslim, can I borrow from you the copy of the Quran? And he borrowed from a Muslim the copy of the Quran. He read the Quran and then he came to a Muslim and he said, no, don't give me this, give me the other Quran. So he said, I was thinking maybe he wants another copy. I said to him, I brought another copy. He said, no, the Quran that Muslims read. But he said, this is the same Quran that we read. He said, but in this book, the only thing I can see is hellfire. But you people never mention hellfire. What you mention is something else. The Quran really, the way Quran mentions hellfire, no book on the face of earth ever can mention. To Quran, there is no matter more severe for humanity other than hellfire. One name of the messenger is Nadir, their warner. And the Prophet said, Ana Nadirul Uriyan, I'm a naked warner. You people are jumping in the hellfire. Wa ana akhidum bihujazikum, and I'm holding your waist to save you from hellfire. That's how the Prophet said, do we really hold the people to save from hellfire? For us, actually, every suffering is suffering. If people don't have food, it is suffering. If people don't have house, it is suffering. We Muslims, most of the time, the work that we do to help Muslims, most of them come under the category of community work. What we do related to community work, establishing centers, helping the poor people. Certainly is a big thing to help the poor people. But do messengers come for that purpose? That is more thing in the life of the messengers. Really, the messengers came for a big purpose. Big purpose was to save the people from hellfire. To us Muslims, everything more important than the hellfire. Have you taught the people? Do we really believe in that? If my son and my daughter, they belong to anybody who can be accused of being terrorist, we become alarmed. We don't want their name to be listed somewhere else. But my family go to hellfire. They follow the way of unbelievers. They follow their cultures. They watch the TV. They do whatever they like. They don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't learn ibadah, and we don't worry. We don't save from hellfire. Quran says, Ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara wa quduha an-nas wal hijara. Save yourself and save your family from a fire where actually not only the people, even the stones we are going to burn. This fire has no meaning for us. Quran keeps saying that if you know this book is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran said that if you think not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَإِن كُنْتُ فِي رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ فَإِن لَّمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. You can't bring something like Quran. Then save yourself against the fire. Quran has come to save the people from the hellfire. A real thing is coming really. There's nothing more frightening for humanity. There's no future more worse for humanity than being thrown in the hellfire. Hellfire has no meaning for us. This religion actually has no meaning without hellfire. People can live in this world as a Hindu, as Sikh, as a Christian, with suffering problem. But if there's no hellfire, we don't need people to be Muslim. The one Islam can offer one thing to the people which no religion offers. Hinduism cannot save people from hellfire. Christian cannot save you from hellfire. Jews cannot save you from hellfire. Nobody can save you from hellfire except the Quran. And this problem does not actually any meaning for us. Learn actually hellfire. Learn from the Quran. Teach your children. Save yourself. Save your family from hellfire. And save your neighbors. Save the Hindus. Save the Christians. Save the Jews from the hellfire. That's what we need really. But we Muslims have forgot our real message, and we are worried about small problems which are happening in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh and here and there. And if we forget this thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, anybody who worries this world, this dunya, Allah will give them more and more worry. And if people have their worry hereafter, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of all their worries. Learn the worry of akhirah, learn the worry of the hellfire. That's what really we need. Be Nadir, be warner. Ya ayyuhal muddathir, قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فهجر. This is what Quran said, be warner. And Allah SWT said that what man every town warner came to there. We are warner to the people. That's what we need to do really. And now a huge population of the world. We live in India for 800 years. And majority of Indian people don't know what hellfire means. We have got neighbors, they don't know what hellfire means. Are we messengers? Do we really give the message? We don't have message. We are not messengers. We just want to enjoy the life like anybody else. And Allah has no support for the people who just want enjoyment in their life. He only helps the people when they give his message. We have to learn this thing. We have got a message. We are messengers. We are like prophets. We are warners. Unless we learn, we need to make the proof established on the face of the earth against the people. If you don't do that, then there is no help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Jazakumullah. Time is going very fast. There are some few questions from sisters. Maybe Sheikh.
Can Faisal read the question? Okay, can you read?
Question: is there any difference between Sunnah and Hadith?
Anything else or just finish?
Yeah, is there any difference?
No, I know that, but anything else or just?
Yeah, that's
okay. So this is very important. Actually, there should be because I taught so much about Sunnah, so also there should be a class, but anyway, we don't have time really to tell you the history of the Sunnah and Hadith and how they've been collected. But anyway, simple answer for this question is, as I mentioned, Sunnah really is this circle. That's what Sunnah means. Sunnah means how everybody daily live in the light of practice of the Sunnah. Basically means application of the Quran by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran came and the Prophet applied the Quran to his life. Sunnah is practice and application of the Quran in the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For the companions, Sunnah was Sunnah. They used to see him and follow it. The Prophet said to the companions that Sallu kama ra'aytumuni wa salli. In Sahih Bukhari and the books of the Hadith, pray as you see me praying. He went for the Hajj and he said to the people, Khudu anni manasikakum. Take from me the rituals of the Hajj. How to do Hajj? Take from me. He was the ideal, he was the example, and the people used to take from him. When the Prophet ﷺ passed away, the new generation came. They can't see him. They can't see his Sunnah. Now what happened? Now Sunnah is reported to them by the companions. The companions tell the new generation that this is how Prophet used to do wudu, this is how he used to pray, this is how he used to fast, this is how he did Hajj, this is how he lived with his wives. So now Sunnah is reported to the new generation. And the new generation reports to the following generation. Sunnah becomes reporting a science, then is Sunnah. Hadith means reporting. So Sunnah is the Sunnah and Hadith is reporting of the Sunnah. When Sunnah becomes history, that's what we say Hadith. Hadith basically is to narrate the Sunnah, narrating the Sunnah, that's Hadith. Muhaddatha yuhaddith means narrating, telling. So Sunnah is practice, Sunnah is application by the Prophet ﷺ, and Hadith is reporting of the Sunnah to those people who were not there. Is it clear? And now we have got so many books of the Hadith. So they basically are reports of the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ.
Another question: is there any type of salah before Rasulullah received Risalah?
Salah there always have been there, but the Prophet did not know. The Prophet had no idea because his people never knew Salah. So he did not worship any idol, but he did not know Salah. The first time he learned the Salah is, the command of the Salah in the cave of Hira. And then after that, Jibreel came and taught him. But before that, we never have any proof or any record anywhere the Prophet even actually knew about the prayer. But certainly, Salah always have been part of Allah's religion. Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, then Harun alayhi salam, Yusuf alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam, وَكَانَ يَأْمُرُ أَهْلَهُ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ. Ismail used to command his family to do prayer and to pay zakat. So these things always have been Allah's religion, Salah. But certainly we don't have any proof in the life of the Prophet ﷺ he ever did any Salah before he became messenger.
Okay, there's one question here, but I don't see it. It says, we hear Sunnah of Ibrahim is Hajj and circumcision. Sunnah of Nabi Musa alayhi salam, Ashura. So was Sunnah present before the revelation of Quran? Wanted to know Sunnah was already present in Prophet Muhammad modified or kept as is.
As mentioned, religion in the morning, religion always have been complete. Ibrahim had complete religion. This complete religion came to Musa alayhi salam in the stages. This complete religion has been conveyed to Isa alayhi salam. Then when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, he also got the complete religion. So complete religion was completed to him in 23 years until he went for the Hajj. To last thing of the Millah of Ibrahim is the Hajj. In the Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he built the Kaaba, so Allah commanded him adhin fil nas bil Hajj, announce among the people to do Hajj. That's why in the Surah Al-Fatih, Quran mentioned to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna fatahna laka fatahan mubina. We have given you a clear victory. لِيَغْفِرَ لَكَ اللَّهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِكَ وَيُتِمَّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ. Why the clear victory? Clear victory, conquest, because Allah wants to forgive your sins and Allah wants to complete His favor upon you. So what happens when Makkah is conquered? Then now the Prophet can do Hajj. So Hajj basically is Allah's complete favor, and Hajj also is means to for sins to forgive. That's why the Prophet said, anybody who goes for the Hajj and they falam yafsuq walam yarfuth, they never did any evil, nothing, and they come back as they are newborn baby. Because Hajj is so effective in forgiveness of the sin. The Quran said Makkah has been conquered, now your sins will be forgiven and Allah will complete His favor upon you. That's why in the time of the Hajj it was revealed to the Prophet Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. So last thing from the Millah of Ibrahim, Hajj was given to the Prophet ﷺ. So all the messengers have got complete religion. And also certainly they have many details the messengers used to follow them, as good manners and good things. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam had many things like beard, cutting the mustache, circumcision, cutting the nails, around 10 things that have come in Sahih Muslim and some books of the Hadith he used to do. Similarly, Musa alayhi salam used to do something, and many other people. So all these great manners and great sunnah of the Prophet, they also came back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So his sunnah is the most complete one. He got all those what all the prophets used to have. So he taught them. So certainly there have been many things of the good sunnah used to be practiced by Ibrahim alayhi salam, by his family, by Musa alayhi salam, and many of them they came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But we don't accept anything as sunnah except if it is practiced by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If somebody said Ibrahim alayhi salam used to do this, but we don't have proof for that sunnah in the Quran, the sunnah, we don't follow that. We only take that sunnah authentic which is mentioned in the Quran or mentioned in the hadith or sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Maybe they're coming from earlier prophets, but we don't make them authentic unless they are taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are many things from Arab culture. Arab people used to do many things. Now they become part of Islam because those are part of Arab culture. They used to be things which have been left by earlier messengers, and Arab people used to do. When the Prophet came and he accepted them, now they're sunnah of Islam. So sunnah to us means all those good manners and good things which are actually like ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which has been taught by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It doesn't matter whether it was with other prophets or not.